Hey folks, welcome back to FreepCast. My name is Rob Murray. I'm here as always with managing editor Joe Spear, and I'm back from a long break.
Welcome back. We weren't sure where you were. You were off the radar everywhere.
I was as off the radar as I could be, I can tell you that.
Well, welcome back. A lot of big news. Again, another shooting over the holiday, December 31st, Tuesday. Altercation, people shooting at each other in the Frost Banco parking lot about 5:30 at night. Has nothing to do with Frost Banco. They were just appeared to be in their parking lot, and they were caught on surveillance. Two people shooting at each other. The police, sheriff's department handled it, and they were later informed that there was a woman at the hospital who had gunshot wound, non-life threatening, but they must have found something out from her or somewhere. They arrested an individual in this case, and they are still looking for the other shooter. Talked to Captain Paul Barta of the Lewis County Sheriff's Office on Wednesday, and he just said they're still working on it. And it's another one of those things. It seems to be stuff happening around New Year's now a lot. Like last year, he was mentioning there was an Eagle Lake shooting on New Year's, and years past, these guys who've been in it for a long time notice these things that happen on the holidays, and for some reason...
Well, of course, we had the tragedy in New Orleans happen on New Year's.
Right, yeah, and that was, of course, big news again. So we're continuing to follow that story, and it's unfortunately involving mostly young people, it looks like, 18-year-olds, and the Sheriff's Office also said they believe it was drug-related, because there was marijuana found on the scene as well as broken glass and a handgun. So we'll be looking for updates on that. But again, 3 fatal shootings is, by our count, in the last 18 months probably. I think the first one was in December of or October 23. So that is becoming unusual. But as we reported earlier, in August or June, overall crime is not up in Mankato. It's actually down somewhat. I mean, you can pick and choose different things. I think maybe burglaries were up. There were different things. But we do a complete report on that. And City of Mankato, Lewis County, City of North Mankato always keeps track of the statistics. And that's one of the things we consider our job in reporting on the community, is keeping track of that, letting people know where we're at. Of course, if crime is up, it is a concern, but I think you're hearing a lot of people being concerned about these shootings as well, as they should be. And
when you have an incident like that, it tends to, I think people think that that's a symptom of a larger crime problem, which it might not be. We don't know if it is or if it isn't.
Right. Well, somebody was raising the question, if it was over marijuana, why would it have been? Because it's mostly legal now, right? But I'm sure there's other substances or deals.
I mean, I don't think the police would say that if it wasn't a pile of marijuana.
Right.
And there was some selling going on. A lot of folks have a little bit of marijuana.
Right. Right. And those marijuana laws. I mean, like, you still can't become a person who gets 1,000 pounds and starts selling it on the street, right? It's more regulated than that, even though it's legal.
Yes, I think there's rules about how much you can have, how much if you're growing it,
right?
Which I did do this past summer.
Ah, good for you. How did it turn out?
It turned out really good.
All right.
But you can have X number of plants growing at one time. So if you want to have a certain amount coming in to harvest all year round, you can do that. I'm not going to do that.
Right. So another kind of odd police thing we're chasing down, and we reported again. This happened in Nicollet County again on New Year's Eve. A farmer walked out to check on his cattle in Lafayette Township, and hadn't been heard from for a while. So his family or concerned people called sheriff's office about 5:30 again on New Year's Eve, and they did a massive search with New Ulm, Nicollet County Sheriff, Sibley County Sheriff, State Patrol, Air, canines, couldn't find any sign, so they gave up at about midnight. And then they resumed the search according to the news release the next day at 7:15 a.m. and did eventually find him on the property. So no word on cause of death, but they're checking into that. In any case, there was no indication that they thought the public was at danger or it was foul play or anything like that. So another kind of sad case. The farmer was 95. Just making note of that. And then another dead body was found on Hinnaker Pond about a week ago on the banks of Hinnaker Pond. And we checked into that, and there is, again, no foul play. They're not really saying anything about the cause of death, but they did release the identity of the victim. And in Minnesota, and this isn't the case everywhere, I mean, police do have to give a basic police report when they find a dead body, or they have what they call an incident. And so some states don't, require police to tell you anything. So we're fortunate to hear that, they can disclose this. And if there's an investigation, we'll find out more about this person. And again, no foul play. So there's probably not a great urgency for police to, find out how this person died. But their main cause is public safety. So some public safety incidents here over the holiday are making news, and we'll, of course, follow up on all of those. Wanted to make note of a milestone, as people can see behind us, the front page of the Free Press, on January 1st, 2000, the Y2K 2000 coverage. Remember that? When all the computers were going to shut down, no trains, no air no lights. There was a lot of scary stuff going on about that. And was reading something this morning about how we really prepared for that, and agencies and government organizations got together for a couple years before that to really figure out what we can do to prepare. And the history of it is, back in the days of early computer programming, there was limited storage space, so they would use only 2 numbers to represent a year. So you wouldn't say 1978, you just say 78. And so they thought 00 was going to go, they didn't know what it was going to go back because they never gave it the first 2 numbers. So they thought it could have gone back to 1900. But luckily, this got put in place and people figured out how to add the other 2 numbers, and nothing happened. The biggest news story where nothing happened.
That reminds me of the great lead Brian Ojampo wrote the next day. I think it went something like, nothing was expected to happen, nothing did happen, and nothing continues to happen.
That's a good one.
It's right out of the mind of Brian Ojampo. If anyone knows Brian, that's a vintage Brian.
But we got people excited for a couple of years, probably sold a few more papers because of it. Mm-hmm. But I was on that night and along with a couple other reporters, and we did the regular, we were just ready and waiting to hear from law enforcement or anybody if any system went down or if there's any problem, massive looting in the streets, something like that. And nothing happened. So good to know. But 25 years ago, there's your milestone for news.
And this thing behind us has been hanging up in our conference center for, 25 years.
Yes. So something interesting to note. Another thing that's getting people talking, I think, is North Mankato finally went after the deer. They've been complained about too many deer eating at people's plants, destroying property. And Tom Hagen.
You mean doing what deer would do in their habitat, which we stole from them, kind of thing?
You're not understanding the history of property rights in our country, Rob. So they were here first, I guess, but
they were
too bad. So anyway, the city hired sharpshooters, and there's this group that goes around at different places, and it's kind of interesting. They're for hire, and they get it done very quickly, and they don't do it like Mankato, which is the archery hunt. I think these guys have guns, and they're very good. They don't miss. So, you don't have a case where maybe deer is wounded and it goes into somebody's yard. And most people don't know this, but if that happens, you're responsible for the deer. You're in your yard, getting it out of your yard. You can't call anybody and go like, take this deer out of my yard. Or you could, I guess, and pay someone enough. Mm-hmm. Maybe they would. But I heard of incidents like that where the homeowner is just stuck having to do it. So anyway, Tom Hagen, North Cato resident citizen, often time attendee of public meetings, giving his say, which is his right, has long urged them to have a deer hunt, and they finally did, and they got 15 deer.
If you go where he lives, which is his home, is at the bottom of the bluff between upper and lower North Mankato.
Yeah.
If you just walk down Lake Street, sometimes you can watch the bluff and you can see there's a lot of deer up there.
Deer all over.
Yeah. So he's maybe taking some damage to his landscaping or something. I don't know.
Yeah, there's a good story by Tim Crone on this, because there is a measure DNR uses for what's healthy for a deer population on 1 square mile, I think, and it's something like 6. And North Mankato was coming in at like 15. So it was a very high number. And,
we were up at Bluff Park the other day walking dogs, and there was 3 of them.
Deer all over.
Oh, yeah. It was very, 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 very close to us.
Yeah, I live 5 miles south of town with a lot of woods, and we have herds of deer in our backyard from time to time, 6, 8, 10, just moseying through, checking out, something to eat. So, yeah, it can be a real challenge for homeowners trying to get them to stop eating their hostas and eating other stuff. So I guess that's newsworthy again around this holiday season. Yeah, it's been quieter other than all the police activity. I think we're gearing up now to some sports, some good sports. As we're going to be watching MSU men's hockey. They have an exhibition, I think, next week at St. Norbert's College. They're playing St. Norbert's.
At St. Norbert's? Alma mater of my attorney, Jim Fleming.
Yes, Jim Fleming, I remember. And so I don't know if St. Norbert's is a powerhouse in hockey.
I don't think that.
But MSU is going to go play them just like they played that exhibition game against, I forget who it was, and they won 6-1. But anyway, MSU men's hockey is ranked 12th nationwide, 14th in the pairwise. So that's boding well for them. That's just at the edge, I think, the pairwise, right? You take the top 16, if I recall the pairwise, what they do.
Well, that doesn't account, though, for the automatic bid. So if somebody's way out of the pairwise rankings,
right,
and they win the automatic bid, their conference tournament,
right,
that kind of screws.
So it can end up being.
You don't want to be 14th, 15th in the pairwise.
Because you'll get knocked out. You want to be in.
You could get knocked out.
11, 12. Yeah. Okay. But yeah, St. Cloud is 11 in the national poll. St. Cloud is 8 in the pairwise. So our arch rival doing pretty well. What's interesting is and MSU has goes on the road November 10th against Northern Michigan. Is home again on the 17th, January 17th, Michigan Tech. Okay. So that's our next home game. Women hockey. In January, they play the number 1 team, Wisconsin, twice. They play the number 2 team, Ohio State, twice. And they play the number 3 team, Minnesota, twice.
I went to when they played Wisconsin here. Not going to say who I was cheering for, but
it was a close game, wasn't it?
The first game was close.
Okay, second one.
The game that I went to was not as close, but
Wisconsin has.
It's good hockey. It's fun to watch.
Yeah, a great team. And one of the Gopher games against MSU women is going to be here on the 18th. It's a home and home thing. So the Gophers are in town. I don't think they've been in town for a while.
Where are they? Do you know where they're ranked? The Gopher women?
Number 3.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Ohio State's number 2, Wisconsin number 1. So yeah. Winter sports. But I don't really have a lot else to talk about in terms of news. anything on your mind with your as you say, your current beat tends to be really slow.
It gets really quiet in the Christmas season. All during December, it's mostly holiday themed events happening, and while they're great to go to, they're not as exciting to write about. So it's
I was joking with somebody that a lot of the bands are promoting themselves as New Year's Eve, be in bed by 10, and we're starting at 6, and goes to 8:30. It's like, geez, where have we gone here? Be in bed by 10.
For us older folks, that's fine. I didn't even make it to 11 o'clock that night.
I'm a little later night person, but I thought there was a cool thing. We were trying to get a little bit more on it on the Carnegie Arts Center. They did have a New Year's Eve thing, music and cash bar, which you don't see there a lot. It was again going to be done by 10, but that would be kind of a cool space, I think, to check out sometime. And I think they're having more of those, right, social musical events where you can go and get a glass of wine and that sort of thing.
Carnegie's a beautiful space. If you live in this town, you've never gone to the Carnegie, you should go check it out, because it's whether you like what's on the wall or not, it's just a really beautiful building. And they are doing more of those events there, thanks to the new director, Charlie Leftridge. He's really trying to make it into something more. It was always great. I think he's bringing a new kind of new life, new energy to that space.
Yeah, cool old circular building, old Andrew Carnegie donated library, right? Yeah. Started in probably the 1900s or early 1900s, and so another little gem we have here in the Mankato area.
Absolutely.
Check it out. I think that's about all we have. Thanks for listening, everybody. I want to just remind you can get this great journalism, great discussion on a regular basis by subscribing to the Free Press. You could just call us at 625-3764. You can go to the subscriptions button on our website and do it right online, or you can email us, readerservice@mankatofreepress.com. You also can order photo reprints, again, with a button online, or with our partner SPX Sports, and you can call them at 345-7196. But thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
I'm going to add one more plug.
Yes.
The Mankato magazine just came out, and if you're looking for an inspirational new start to your life kind of a story, there's a good one in there about a woman in Mankato named Lisa Finch, who not only lost a bunch of weight, but she kind of took her life back. She's very healthy. Her family has also gotten healthier. Her husband's also getting in shape, and it's a good family feel-good story. So
great stories like that, because they always remind us that certain challenges can be overcome.
Absolutely.
Great to have those in there.
But that's it for that.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for listening. We'll see you next time.
Yeah. Thanks, folks.